Claire B. Lang, Sirius NASCAR Radio. It was some incredible racing last week, and you racing Jimmy Johnson, and we've been talking about it all week, and it was phenomenal what you did. My question for you is, Jimmy had said, and it's really sort of fascinating, that in 9 years of racing you, he hadn't seen anything like that would, have him doubt or anything, and now, he's relooking at it, and yet he didn't put you in the fence because you only nudged him. Does he race you differently now that you only nudged him? And how does that work between the two of you, even though you pulled it off brilliantly?
There's been big positive remarks made by all the fans and all the call-ins that I've done this week, and it seems like everybody appreciated what happened other than our current four-time champion. And he's been so fast the last 4 or 5 years, nobody's had a chance to bump him or move him out of the way because he's had such a quick race car. And so he hasn't been used to those situations. I grew up on the short tracks, racing hard, racing those late model races where you're just bumping and gouging and ripping and tearing and trying to get good finishes. And that's not necessarily my style, but I saw an opportunity to go for a win, to try to get those 10 bonus points, to carry those with us to the chase. And the point that I proved was you don't have to just flat out wreck somebody to gain a position. The old bump and run was an option, and I used it. And he only lost 1 spot. I've moved Matt Kenseth out of the way to win at Bristol. He only lost 1 spot. I moved Jimmy Spencer out of the way at Bristol to win. He only lost 1 spot. When I'm moving guys, I'm definitely not intentionally trying to wreck them. I'm just trying to race them hard, race them clean, and if somebody comes and bumps me and I lose 1 spot, that's a perfect exchange. I'm more than willing to race somebody that way all the time. But opportunities like that don't pop up every week. And I thought it was just good short track racing. And if Jimmy doesn't feel that way, then he'll figure it out.
Okay, let's go Mulhern, and then Don Bryan right behind Mulhern has the next one. Then we'll come up here for Angelique. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, Mike Mulhern.net. Following up on that real quickly, isn't it nice to know that you can get under Jimmy's skin like that? I mean, maybe he was playing it up for the media, but he made it sound like you almost crashed him over the wall or something like that. I thought he really over-dramatized the whole thing, but it's nice to be able to get under somebody's skin with just a little bump like that, isn't it?
I mean, it's just part of racing, and how people react is another sense of it. And did he overreact? Maybe a little bit. To me, if I was leading the race, got moved out of the way, I would have all the intentions of moving that guy the same way and getting back up there to win. It could be a whole different conversation if I moved him and then had enough speed to win the race, because then he would definitely be flipping out.
Go ahead, Brian.
Brian Nelson, MRN Radio. This race, being the last one before they repave it, the last one with all the character that Daytona has had for all these years, is there more of a desire in your heart, in your mind, to win this race before they change it, or is that not even a factor to you?
What's different is that when we come here in February, the old balance of speed versus handling is going to be gone. I see what you're getting at, and this last race on the old surface, it won't be remembered for the last race on the old surface. It'll just be the 2010 Pepsi Coke 400, whatever 400 this race is. I'm sorry, I'm sponsored by a beer company. I should know which soft drink handles the race. To me, when we come back here in February, it's going to be a different feel. It's going to be more like Talladega, where it's just about raw speed, and the whole complexion is going to change when we come here in February. So this is fun. It'll be refreshing to think the same way right now about how slick the track's going to be. Are we going to have issues with the track coming up or not? It's going to be one of those rough and tough, mean races where you got to slip slide at the best. And then when we come here in February, it's just going to be about raw speed, and the whole face of the Daytona field will change.
We'll go Angelique, and then Dwight will have the last one. We need to let Kurt go to work. Go ahead, Angelique.
Kurt, has the four-time champion seemed more human to you this year? I mean, more catchable, I guess, on the track. And that said, have maybe the last 2 weeks, has he sort of reestablished himself as a major contender, as everyone thought he would be?
Yeah, I mean, I read in the paper that he went through a 10-race winless streak, and I'm like, come on, it's like, wow, he was in a huge slump. But no, those guys are still very strong. They're still the lead candidate for running through the chase and being the rabbit that we're all chasing down, so to speak. For us, we feel like we're one of those. I think there's 6 guys right now that have separated themselves on who's in and who's going to run strong in the chase. But there's always surprises that come up. But no, they've really hit it on the head the last couple weeks and had a great opportunity at Sonoma to win. And then with Ambrose stalling the car, they took advantage of it. And then with Jeff Burton making the wrong pit call at New Hampshire, who's there to take advantage of it? The 48. That was my comments back at Bristol. Anybody but the 48. When somebody has a problem, boom, there they are to win. So they're always putting themselves in position to win.
Dwight.
Dwight Drum, RaceTake.com. Kurt, as far as you guys are getting to get a rare week off, as far as what gives you kicks off the track, like maybe your drag racing, that gives you maybe an edge when you come back, or is just getting away help?
Yeah, I had a tough decision to make. The deal me and my wife have with each other is there's 4 off weekends. I get to pick 2, and she picks 2. And this weekend coming up in July, there's actually a drag race out in Sonoma. And I could go take my car and run super gas and have some fun drag racing, but she planned an Italy trip, and so I need to go to Italy. I don't need to go drag racing. And so it's a great way to relax. You have to have fun on your off weekends and can do it with, racing other cars, or you can go and just do it with rest and relaxation, which it should be a fun trip.
Thanks, Kurt. Good luck this
All right,
weekend.
thanks.